architectural precast, this is mostly what High does in this part of the country. And that's really all of the exterior cladding on a building, where you're starting to look at, what does it look like, the color, the texture. And most of the precast that we talk about is cast in what our industry likes to call long line beds. So there's steel beds, and you'll cast products on there thousands of times. You'll make the same product over and over again. But with architectural precast, each piece is unique. It's usually cast in a very high quality wood form, and it's specifically designed and cast for a particular project. Wall panels are a little bit different than architectural precast. They're still used on the exterior system, but they're usually very flat panels. You usually stain the outside of them. So, you're not as worried about the color and texture of the products. And those are cast in long line steel beds. So that's kind of the difference between wall panels and architectural precast. Structural products, then we also have products that are inverted T's, ledger beams, columns, anything that is going to support the decks and the structure of a building. Back 10 years ago when I started this job, we were doing a lot of modular construction because there was a prison market. Right now, nobody's building prisons in Illinois and Wisconsin, but the technology is there to do a 5-sided box with an empty section on the bottom, and then you stack the boxes one on top of the other, and the ceiling of the box on the bottom acts as the floor for the box on top of it. And the nice thing about these is you've got the ability to add your toilets, your beds, your safety equipment, all at the manufacturing plant instead of doing that in the field. And a lot of insurance companies right now are really pushing that idea of modular construction. They like to try to get as much of the construction happening in the controlled environment of a plant and try to keep it out of the field because it's so much safer. You guys are probably doing electrical and things like that in some of your panels. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about precast panels, and we're seeing more of that with the type of work that we do nowadays. The architectural panels can be anything from just pure cladding panels to that they can actually carry loads, building loads, floor loads, roof loads. We can actually, as Marty mentioned, we can cast electrical boxes and conduits in the back of panels. Again, that's very helpful for some industries, like prisons in some cases, or some kind of manufacturing buildings. That's also something we can do. So, again, a very versatile product from that standpoint.
Then the last product I wanted to share with you are our transportation products. And we've got arch culverts, box beams, sound walls, I-beams, ESHTO beams. So there's all sorts of different bridge products that are out there. In Illinois, the tollway uses about 95% of their bridges are precast, and the DOT uses about 50% of their precast for about 50% of their bridges. And shorter spans, you're going to use a box beam. A real short span, you might use an arch culvert like you see here. And then these ASHTO beams, or the I-beams, they can start, or bulb beams, they can actually go up to about 175 feet. We just had a producer on the tollway, on a tollway bridge, do bridge beams that were 175 feet long. So there are some real possibilities to get very long spans, as well as short spans that go up really quickly. So a lot of county roads and things like that want to have bridge beams that go up quickly with as little inconvenience to the public as possible. We're seeing a lot of precast used in those types of beams. Not really in our industry. Our industry really focuses on that plant production and the quality control that comes with doing the plant work. And we also have like a certification program through PCI that allows you to buy precast from a plant that's been certified as somebody who's qualified to do that. And it's a little bit harder to do that with that kind of plant. But I think that as technology changes, our industry may have to change to adapt to that kind of thing. I don't know, are you guys doing any of that?
No. Typically, we're producing all our products in the plants and shipping them to the various job sites. We just feel like we can maintain better quality control by producing in the plant. We have more consistency to the batching, the mixing, the temperatures, all the things. With architectural especially, architectural precast is very, the architects have a very high demand for quality and consistency from piece to piece, from panel to panel, and they want that color and finish consistency, and the best way to do that is to do in-plant production. But it's not unusual to ship panels several hundred miles to various job sites. In fact, I picked up a job this summer that we're doing in St. Louis that we're shipping from Springboro, Ohio, over near Dayton, Ohio area. So I mean, that gives you an idea how far away we're going with these products.
So that yes.
Most of the materials that we use, and especially with architectural, but a lot of producers as well, it's very important in our operation. If you ever have an opportunity to come to the plant, if we have the Paxton plant open again, we'd love to have you, or another operation, certainly. But those forms need to be turned over every day. And as Marty pointed out, with architectural precast, a lot of the features that you see on the panels, the reveals, whether there are projecting features like bullnoses or returns, things of that nature on panels, we produce all these things in the plant, and we want to make sure that those forms are turned over every day, because we need to make new pieces to constantly keep that operation going from that standpoint. So the materials, the cements, for instance, we use are very high strength. Typically, they're high early curing cements, type 3 cements, things of that nature. The specifications call for 5,000 psi of that concrete every 28 days, and normally our strengths are fairly high like that overnight, just because we have to have enough strength in the material to be able to lift it out of the form itself, because everything with architectural, all the features are built down in the bottom of the form box. So anything you would see on the exterior of an architectural wall is built basically in the bottom of the form box that's in the plant.
Do you guys have any other questions about the different products that we went through? Yeah. Yeah, nobody's building any single-family residential right now, and even the other market. So, I think that there's a lot of opportunity for that. If that market should ever pick up, we'll see more of it, but we're not seeing a whole lot of it right now, because nobody's building anything, whether it be wood or precast in the single-family market. Well, single-family residential is difficult to do with precast, because you have to have a certain amount of repetition, and you have to really kind of design it within the confines, and you have so few the number of pieces for that building that it's hard to be really cost-effective for single-family.